Well, good morning, Derby Jack here. So 9:30. Let me read this, then we're going to go on. Isaiah chapter 30. We're just going to read this first part. Woe to the rebellious children, saith the Lord, that take counsel, but not of me, and that cover with a covering, but not of my spirit, that they may add sin to sin. Now, how y'all doing out there? All you people who like to vote, all you people who believe in the narrative that you have a government that actually cares about you, that you have two parties that are actually honest, that actually both parties are separated because one party represents one part of a constituent and the other party represents another. But here's the truth. They all work in cohorse. They all work together. They sit up there on a hill. They all work in conjunction together to run a government. The government's purpose is to mismanage the people. The purpose of the government is to misinform the people. The purpose of the government is to and also miss true judgments of right and wrong. Their whole purpose is to enslave. When you finally get to the part where you understand both parties are a slavery, are slave drivers. That's the whole point. Republicans and Democrats alone are both slave drivers. Wasn't it during the so-called COVID outbreak that both parties pushed for us to roll up our sleeves and do what was right for the nation? Both parties were in conjunction in this. Neither party, neither people wanted in the beginning of this travesty, this so-called genocide that we had to deal with. They didn't want to see it for what it was. And so now, you got both sides right now who have let all this happen to their own selves. And now we got, once again, another parade, another circus show going on. Now, what happened up there? You had Trump, who was supposed to have been the tyrant or supposed to have been the mob boss. Then you had Biden, the chivalrous, mindless, dead mind, dead body, dead everything, no heart, no. Did you see his eyes? I could barely see the whites of his eyes because they were so dark. I don't even know whether they had what puppet they had up there because he's got a clone. And for all of you people who actually believe in government, oh, we just got to vote Trump in, you idiots. There is no government. Trump is a puppet. Trump is an actor. If you can't wake up by now and see all the things that they're doing in government, if you can't see the truth by now, then you are blind. I'm going physically blind, and I see more than you. That makes me better than you because I can see with blindness that you can't see with 20/20 vision. So yes, I am more intelligent than you. Okay? Let's just get that out of the way. Maybe you went to college and I didn't go to your type of college. Maybe you went to Yale. I didn't go to Yale. Thank God. I don't like skin and I don't like dealing with bones and all the other shit. Okay? I don't like secret societies. I'm the type of guy that takes a gun and blows secret societies away. I have no use for them. Do you understand me? Yes, I am a Christian, born again. Yes, I am covered by the blood of Jesus Christ. Yes, that's all cool and fine. You don't like the way I talk? Go to a puppy video and shut your mouth and go away. I'm talking to people who want everlasting life in heaven. I'm not talking to fools who want to vote idiots in and think that these idiots are going to make their lives better. They have lied to us continually. And you believe him. Jesus Christ came on earth to die for your life. He never made any lies. He never told an untruth. And yet, you people will listen to idiots out there who will promise you nothing, and you continue listening to the lies over and over again, and you still believe them. Trump was a liar last night. Some of the things he said, that people didn't die in the war under him. Yes, in 2021, there was a platoon that actually died of 13 men. Okay, so that was bullshit. And that was under his. Okay, so in saying all that, it is time, once again, what the word always says, to come out of her, my people. It is time for you to wake up and start smelling the stench of this dead world. It is no longer dying, it's dead. When you look at the earth and you see the green grass, is it painted like they do in China? Is it real? Is the color pigments in there real? We don't even know anymore. They have chemicalized this whole freaking plane to where we don't know what's right, what's wrong, what's real, what's not. They spray the skies. Do you know what the actual blue sky looks like? Have you ever noticed? Has any of you ever been old enough, or do you have a memory, or have you just been so indoctrinated you forgot there used to be a yellow sun? Oh yeah, you don't want to think about that stuff. You don't want to think about clouds that are straight, that go for a mile, that never make any sense, but yet that's what you want to believe. Why? Because you're a human monkey. You have no common sense. You don't believe in God. You go to church and yet you let homosexuals come in and rule your church. And yet, here's another thing, people. A lot of you don't understand. God has given up the church. Yes. If you go to a physical four-wall church, God has given it up. God does not work in the churches anymore. Why? Because the churches do not bring God into them anymore. They bring sin. They continually bring sin in. They continually break down what it means to be a true, born-again, faith-filled, spirit-filled Christian with faith. That's no longer available in the church. Now, you might have a church that you go to that still teaches the truth, but you better watch your church. You better watch your minister. You better keep tabs on him. You better also protect him from being controlled by the outside resources, by the outside people. Don't let the government come in and change the heart of your minister if you have a good one, because that's what they do. They'll come in and change the heart of the minister. They will change that minister's way of doing things, and he will no longer be a vessel for God. And yet, most of you are listening to me who are Christians. You go to these churches, you don't want to hear what I say. You're the people that sit there and tell and tattletale on people like me who speak the truth, because I'm telling you that you're not a Christian when you say you are. Why? Because I see what most of you Christians out there believe. If you're sitting there voting for Trump and you say you're an evangelical, you may be an evangelical, but that's only to the church you go to. God has nothing to do with this in your life, because you don't believe in God. You believe in government. You don't believe in God. You believe in a status quo. You don't believe in God. You believe in one man. Evangelicals, you believe in one man who's going to sit there and save your freaking life in this world. And that man's going to take you to hell with him. But yet, you're going to vote for him. You people on the other side, you're a little pervert. The man who likes to be in a pool with a bunch of kids playing with the hair on his legs, and he likes to sniff and grope 19, 16-year-old girls, and fondle their breast while he's on stage, and nobody does a damn thing about it. Our government has fallen, you fucking monkeys. That's right. When that type of stuff, and there's no man on stage that'll beat the crap out of him before the FBI or the Secret Service. If that happened to me, I've said it many times before, if pervy Joe Biden ever touched my wife or child the way he did on stage to these other people, I will take the motherfucker out. That's truth, not a lie. That is a promise, not just something said. Don't touch children. And if you're a parent, like I said, if any of you congressmen or Senate who were up there with Trump when you were doing all this, you're not a man. You're a coward. And you allowed that man to grope your child and your wife. You ought to be proud of yourself, you piece of crap. That's right. Derby Jack is not happy with any of this world. I want to go home. I want a nuclear bomb if they actually have them, or a hydrogen bomb to blow up the whole freaking world so we can go home. I want the fire to begin so I can go home. I don't want to be here any longer. Humanity, you sicken me. If you don't want God, then go to hell because you sicken me. I don't want this anymore. And you shouldn't want it anymore either. If you're a true Christian, you're tired of this world. If you're a true Christian, you're tired of the lies. If you're a true Christian, you're tired of the so-called government lying to you and doing things and genociding you with needles in your arm. You ought to be sick and tired of it. There should be an insurrection. These people need to be pulled out of their offices and made to understand that they are not allowed to do what they're doing. But no, you want to vote. No, you want to play ball. No, you want to be a good little Christian and sit on the back of the pew and not make waves. No, you just want to be. You want all the good in the world. Well, let me ask you something. What's good? I haven't found anything lately that's good. All the food makes me sick. I don't even know what to trust to put in my mouth anymore. And yet, you all want this world. You all want it to continue. Why do you think I use the word idiot? Because it doesn't make sense to me that people would continue when they hear and know and see what's going on, and yet they don't want to believe it. How? That makes you an idiot in my mind. When things are so explicit, they're not even hiding it anymore, and yet you don't want to believe it. You don't want to see it for what it is. You still want to believe that the government is viable. You still want to believe that the people are honest. You still want to believe that there's people out there in government who really want to do something for you. But those who want to do something for you don't last. They get voted out, or they get killed, or silent in some way or another, or bought off. And you still don't see it. You still don't want to believe it. You hold on to narratives that are going to take your life. You hold on to narratives that make you, that put you in darkness. You hold on to narratives that lessen your life, that make you a liar, that make the world, everything about the world is a lie. And yet you hold on to it like it's the only thing you got. And I'm telling you, God is much more than what the world is. The power of God is much stronger than what the world offers. The truth of God's word is total truth. There is not a lie. He's never lied. He never will lie. His word is paramount. His word is truth. His word is there. It is foundational. And yet, the world keeps lying and tells you it's on a foundation. It don't even know that it's on a foundation. It believes it's spinning helplessly in space that doesn't exist. And yet, you still believe because you won't believe in God and His Word. I will read this once again, and I want you to think about it. This was talking about, in Isaiah, this is talking about Israel. But listen, woe to the rebellious children, saith the Lord, that take counsel, but not of me, that cover with a covering, but not of my spirit, that they may add sin to sin. What do you think they're doing today? That's exactly what they're doing. They're adding sin on top of sin, on top of sin, over and over again. How are you ever going to ever get out of her when you allow them to cover you up with sin? To allow you to be bombarded with sin and you accepting it. How does God reconcile with you? And how do you reconcile with God? You can't, because you're weighed down with what? Sin. Here's where gravity comes in. Yeah, you're being pushed and pulled down by the gravity of sin. And that's the only gravity that exists on the face of the earth. That's the only gravity. It's a spiritual gravity. Anything else is buoyancy, you stupid idiots. So think about that for a moment. And don't worry about how I talk to you. That's what thing you all get so so peed off and so insulted. Here's the thing. Listen to not the rhetoric, listen to the logic. When you finally get to the logic, then maybe the rhetoric will make a little bit more sense to you. And you won't take it so personally. But what you need to take personal is your everlasting life. Because if you make a joke out of it, God will make a joke out of you. Derby Jack out. And I hope to see you all on the other side.